All right, we're back with our regular scheduled programming. I'm super excited for this Motion Picture Monday. I finally have a special guest who's super exciting. This guy's one of the smartest people I know, and he's an amazing filmmaker. We've been working together on and off since 2010. He's made a couple of great features. I give you...
Hey guys, my name is Tyler McIntyre. I'm a friend of Tomcat Content. I'm a writer-director behind the movies Patchwork and Tragedy Girls. And today we're going to check out a clip from my first film, Patchwork.
Yo, what's up? What happened to your face? I like your hair. Yo, you here for the conference? Fine.
I'm really sorry, but there's no fugglies. There's listeners. Really? Like...
You're gonna be a terrible friend. You remind me of a distant constellation. The way you call me like the tone of a touch, and I wanna know, is that important? Baby, no, it just depends, it just depends.
Nothing, baby. Let's get comfy.
Whoa, I haven't seen that scene in quite some time. So this scene is one of my favorites from Patchwork. We knew we wanted kind of like a big, kind of fun set piece right in the middle of the movie. Often when you're making movies on kind of a low budget level, you tend to just shoot what you need. And so we had actually cut this scene originally from our principal photography shooting schedule because we knew that it was going to eat up a bunch of time. And so once we kind of had screened the movie and saw that it was working with people, we made the decision as a group to kind of go back and pick this up because we thought it would really add something in terms of style to the film. We knew we wanted this to be one continuous shot where we follow Stitch up and she knocks on the door and then goes in and we see the whole fight kind of unfold in one thing. In order to have that flexibility, we knew this needed to be a handheld shot because if you use some other sort of stabilizer like a Steadicam, we knew we wouldn't either be able to afford that or B, be able to actually it would complicate the blocking because of the size of the rig. So what I did was I prevised the project with our stunt coordinator to make sure we had kind of all our ducks in the row. And so I went out to the location and sort of paced it out, and we talked through like what gags were going to occur where. On the day, we could have all these things set up and deal with it like element by element, knowing that they would all have to kind of happen in sequential order. At the beginning of the shot, we have Stitch walking up the stairs and she, bangs on the door. And then the first thing that would go wrong would be the sign would roll up, and often that would fall down or kind of only go up halfway. And so we knew we needed to have it land perfectly so that we could see the frat guy's face. And so then they have a little brief exchange, and then he slams the door in Stitch's face, and then we have Tori starts playing the song, which is 10-20-10 by the Generationals, a song we're very fortunate to get. And so we had a bit of a dilemma in that we knew that they wouldn't commit to letting us use the song until we actually shot the scene and they could see it. So we had to take a bit of a risk in blocking the scene to that song so that we would hope that they would allow us to use it once everything was said and done. Once she starts playing the song, it just became about kind of hitting these beats at the exact right time, almost like a dance. In order to make all these gags kind of happen one after another, we had to kind of plan this a lot. We did 7 or 8 kind of false starts where we'd get kind of partially through something and then either something would break or something would fall that was distracting or the timing wouldn't work out with the music. We had to kind of really commit to this last shot. So this take, when it happened, it's not 100% perfect. Obviously, at the beginning, when the gentleman answers the door, he says no fuglies or solicitors, and then closes the door and actually hits himself in the head. And it was kind of silly, and I didn't notice it at the time. And it wasn't until I looked in the editing room, I'm like, oh, he hits himself in the head there. Like, you know, how do I get past this? Because I need to use this shot as one continuous thing. So I actually added a sound effect to draw more attention to it, to make it look like a joke, and then make him look like a bit of a doofus. And you know, and it actually gets a laugh, and so it actually kind of improved the shot. Once we kind of started to embrace these imperfections, such as after Stitch finishes beating the guy on the porch, she turns around and walks back into the house. And while that was crucial to hide the special effects guy, our camera operator, when he falls her, actually ends up tripping over the guy who's on the porch and having to reframe. But when he does that, it actually works in time with her kind of like punching the other guy and grabbing him. And so then they both end up back stable in order to catch him being thrown through the window. It kind of worked with the energy of the shot, and I actually think kind of improved the ending of it, because it feels more natural. The biggest lesson that I learned from this is that if you're going to do kind of a micro-budget project, that you really do set aside some time. Give yourself the opportunity to do something that has your personality in it. I think all too often we're worried about kind of shooting the number of pages that you need to shoot and getting the scenes in the can. In order to set aside the time necessary to do something creative, you need to kind of sacrifice other areas of production. And I would just encourage you to kind of entertain that in a very sober way. So in order to make time for something like this, other scenes had to suffer. And so as long as you're kind of aware of that calculated risk, that's kind of what gives your movie that personality. This scene is one that often people will mention to me after they've seen the movie that they really liked it. And so I'm so glad we went back and picked it up, because taking the time to do those things that are kind of unique to you and your voice is really what the audience tends to remember.
Whoa, I feel like I learned so much from listening to Tyler as we filmed that. I hope you learned a thing or two as well. This is actually one of my favorite scenes from Patchwork. If you haven't seen Patchwork yet, it's available now on iTunes, Netflix, VOD, DVD, Blu-ray, all of those things. Also, Tyler's finished his second feature that's been creating waves all across the world, playing different festivals and markets and various releases. It's called Tragedy Girls. You can see that right now on iTunes, Blu-ray, DVD. It's gonna be coming to Hulu pretty soon, so keep an eye out for it, but please check out Tyler's films, Patchwork and Tragedy Girls. Thanks so much for watching Motion Picture Monday. If you like this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up, slap at that subscribe button. Hey, leave a comment below what your favorite horror movie is. We wanna hear from you guys. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.